All right, so here we are. As I'm saying, marriage shouldn't sexually benefit men, and it shouldn't because the initial intention of marriage, I'm sure it wasn't based on solely providing sex to men. Okay, it wasn't based on that, and it shouldn't be based on that. The sole purpose of marriage shouldn't be to please a man's sexual desire at all time. It is how you call it, a misunderstanding. Whenever men think they're getting married, they think that they're getting married because they're going to have access to sex, okay, like a full access to sex, and they shouldn't be struggling sexually. The intention of any woman going into a marriage, I don't think, is to sexually stalk their man. It is to intentionally say, you know what, we are getting married, and as soon as we do, you will not have any type of pleasure, out of this marriage. No, no one intends to do that. But it's because marriage is misunderstood with both parties. Okay, I mean, in the initial stages of the union, when people are single and they are just enjoying life. They don't see these issues coming, but by the time they realize it, sometimes it's too late, or sometimes there is a learning curve, an adjustment. But the sexual intent of marriage, honestly, is to procreate. It's not to please any man who wants to become a bunny. Okay, you want to be a bunny, you need to go about it by being patient in terms of childbearing. Okay, if you don't bring children into this marriage quickly, then your not last span, what your bunny last span, meaning your last span of having consistent sex, you can extend it by not quickly jumping into childbearing. Okay, not quickly jumping into having babies, not quickly jumping into those seriousness. Children are responsibilities, and they like attention. So whenever they come into the equation, your woman may neglect your needs, and she's supposed to neglect your need, and then take care of the children's need. Hi, Harry, how are you? Hi, happy Saturday. Hi. So therefore, it's like, okay, how you call it? Because people associate consistent sex with marriage. I think they're wrong. You should associate safe sex, and I quote, safe sex with marriage, not consistent sex, because there are other responsibilities. And it is not humanly possible for a woman to provide those services to her man all the time. Though there are some exceptions whereby men are running out of the bedroom because their woman cannot get enough of that, and those women are special. But I would say I don't think 99.9% of women are like that, especially when children are in the equation. When children comes into the equation, that's where men feel neglected, and they have every right to feel neglected because then they are not the priority, right? That's how come I'm saying that you need to really think of not bringing children into the equation really quick, so you guys can enjoy your life together. And before children comes into the equation, make sure you have all the intimacy you want to have with your woman before you introduce kid into it, because once you do, what you will realize quickly is that that is going to decrease. Okay. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, have fun, Harry, you're out and about. Good. So therefore, it's like, what is it? When you bring kids into this really quickly, it's going to backfire. It's going to really backfire. People will say, well, the religious one, because I practice spirituality. I don't follow any type of religion, okay? And I'm vocal about it. Spirituality, I believe in God. There's a higher power, and I pray to God all every day. I'm not supposed to tell you guys. That's between me and my God, okay? The Almighty God, the most powerful being, right? But according to certain religion, God made man and the woman and the children. God said, take care of your man before you take care of your children. That's what you guys say. But what I'm about to say is the reality is children are a lot of responsibility. So therefore, when children come into the equation, you need to put that button. That's a button. I think that's in French. Button, French. Okay, that's stick of yours. Okay, away, so this woman can take care of your offspring. You decided to procreate, right? This offspring It's going to demand a lot of attention. Well, someone will say, well, Rose, you're trying to find excuses for women not to take care of their men. They can do that too. They can take care of the kid and take care of me. Okay, fine. You want a robot, you can go for it. But it's not humanly possible for a woman to be taking care of children and then have the same energy as if she wasn't taking care of any. That doesn't add up. Okay, so sexually marriage doesn't benefit men, and sexually marriage shouldn't benefit men, because if a man goes into this with the wrong intention, getting married solely because he thinks he's going to have access to sex every second, then you need a rude awakening. And I'm here to warn you, like, before you get into this marriage, your bunny era is going to come to an end, and really soon, especially if you bring kid into this. I'm trying to say that. Okay, there are responsibilities out there when you are dating and you don't see each other often. Then when you see each other, of course, you turn into a huge bunny, right? You guys jump on each other and do whatever you do best. That is the dating stages, whereby you don't get to meet all the time. But when you are living together, look, everyone need activities of their own. You're living together. I don't think it is adequate and it makes sense for you guys to be jumping each other every time. Okay, just because Mr. Whoever is horny at every moment. It doesn't happen like that. Life, there are responsibilities that comes with living together. First of all, you have to adjust to living together and find out how to have your own activities beside from sex. So marriage doesn't guarantee and will not, I'm here to tell you that it will not guarantee full access to sex. And it shouldn't, because that wasn't the initial intention of marriage. The initial intention of marriage wasn't to give a full access to sex to men at every moment. Because I mean, come on, it is hard to satisfy a man, especially his sexual need, because you guys are like, well, you guys are animal. We are all animal. We are superior animal. Well, you guys are a lot of an animal. You guys are animal into animal, okay? Without trying to throw shade at you, you the man, like I'm saying, I you guys are animal on another level. So it is hard for a regular woman to just please you guys like that. Come on, your desires are out there, and sometimes it makes it impossible for the regular woman to please you. Okay, that is the reality. Though a woman may want to please you, but at some point she's like, well, this animal, it's too much. I think I need a break. And you're like, well, I get married so I can have full access to sex. What is happening? Okay, my single friend is having sex every day. You know why your single friend is having sex every day? Because I'm here to tell you why. Because guess what? He's not married. That's the difference. Duh, I'm sure you didn't see this coming. When people are single and dating, they don't live together. They don't meet all the time. So whenever they have a chance to meet with their significant other, they have to like let themselves loose. Do you understand? So therefore, it seems as if the sex is intense and intentional, like everything is just on this level. So therefore, it's like it might give the illusion that he's having more sex. If he is faithful and he is with one woman, I doubt it if he's having more sex. I'm saying single men have more sex than married men because they have the opportunity and the option to be with multiple women. They can do that if they want. You understand? Yes, they can definitely go for that if they want, because they're single. They are not accountable as a married man. A married man is accountable. Someone will say, well, why should I get married then? Because guess what? I thought when I get married, I'm going to have full access to sex. Then if it isn't full access to sex, and I may be starved sexually, then what is the benefit of getting married? Here, I'm here to tell you the benefits of getting married, honestly speaking, is to procreate. Because marriage within itself, it is a business move. I'm sure you won't see this coming. Oh, you didn't see this coming. Oh, did you? Well, why would I go into a business with a woman? Oh, yeah. You want to procreate or not? Yeah. Someone would say, well, I could procreate without getting married. Fine. Go for it. Go for it. Go ahead and procreate without being married. Procreating without marriage, it shows a sign that you're not responsible enough. You are running away from responsibility. Being married doesn't only teach you business moves, or it teaches you life experiences that people who aren't married will not otherwise. That's what I'm saying. It's like marriage, it is a business move. It's not a sexual move. whereby your ass think you're going to be banging people's children. I mean, come on, your wife all the time. It doesn't happen. Even if your wife may want to jump your bone, I don't think she wants to do that all the time. So therefore, what are we saying? Marriage, it is a business move. Marriage wasn't intended for a man to have sexual access to his woman. It was intended for a man to have safe sexual access to one partner if the partner is faithful to him. Because the exception to the rule. You may say, well, when you are married, you should have safe sex. That was the initial intention. But does that happen? There are some exceptions where the man or the woman is cheating and they end up bringing diseases into the marriage. Then you will say, okay, if there are all these risks of getting married, then better off being single because when I'm single, I can be with multiple women and I'll be happy sexually. If that's what you want to do, so be it. I'm not saying men shouldn't get married. I'm just here to warn them that, hey, you want to get married? You need to know that you will not have access to sex all the time. You need to know marriage is not solely about sex. Though sex is a big part of being married, but do not be mad if you don't get the sex that you thought you were supposed to get when you get married. Like I said, there are responsibilities that comes along with childbearing and getting married. You do not forget that. You need to really know that marriage has its own how you call it challenges. There's a lot of challenges that come with being married. Okay. And one of those challenges for men, honestly, is sex because men are sexually driven than women. A woman can survive without sex for the longest than a man would because you guys, like, you are constantly thinking of it. That's what define you. I'm not saying that you are an animal who is supposed to be solely defined because of sex. No, I'm saying that genetically and biologically, you are not, well, not anatomically, physiology. Okay, physiologically, you are meant to be sexually driven. That's what drives you. That's your physiology. So therefore, it means a lot to you, and it should. But I just want you to know, when you get married, you're compromising that innate desire of having sex constantly. It's going to be a huge compromise. That's how come marriage shouldn't be about love or shouldn't be about sex. Marriage should be a business move, and the move is a lifelong move that's going to teach you skills that you wouldn't learn if you are not married. So then you will say, well, there isn't a lot of benefit in marriage. Why should I do that? I'm not stupid. I'm going to remain single and be with multiple women because guess what? At some point, men get tired of being with the same woman anyway. Why would I do this to my own self? Why would I do that? I don't think it is a smart move. Rose just said marriage was a business move. So what do I get out of this business? What you get out of it is you procreate with the same woman and you raise your children. And there's a joy in watching your kid being raised. And thus, from what, maybe, I don't know how often you would like to be banging your wife, maybe once a week or twice a week. If you're lucky, twice a week. If you're super lucky, 3 times a week. How about that? You need to find a hobby and not to constantly think of sex. Find a hobby outside of your marriage. Okay, do something that will make you forget about banging, your wife. Okay, do you understand? I know it's like, well, this is not fair. No, it is fair because this is life. You don't always get what you want out of life. Sometimes you have to compromise and you have to sacrifice. Okay, and people will say, well, yeah, how about polygamy? I know. I covered this topic before, but the topic, it wasn't detailed. I decided to make this, to cover the same topic because I wanted to be detailed. Okay, so because it wasn't detailed, I decided to make a longer one so I can go in depth and support and defend those points that were made by most of the men. The comment section of my initial video that covered the same topic, I am here to debunk it. You guys said that. Why don't you just uh, uh, marry multiple women? How about polygamy? Polygamy is the answer to this. If a woman doesn't want to bang me, I'm going to marry another one. I'm going to bring another woman into this. How about I practice polygamy? If you say no to me, your co-wife is going to say yes to me. So what happened to that? I want to practice polygamy. All right, no problem. Polygamy is not a problem. If that is a part of your cultural norm, I told you guys I'm from West Africa, and the country that I'm from, Polygamy is practiced by 99.9% of the citizens, because most of the citizens, where I'm coming from, religious wise, they're Muslim. Okay, we are, when I was religious, part of the 0.111% Christian where I'm from. Okay, because I am spiritual. Now, polygamy is practiced by those people, by most of the men in the country I'm coming from. They're four, five wives. Some of them have seven. I know. The richest one do. Polygamy may be the answer to sexless marriages, according to some of the men on my channel. Some of the men that left the comment section stating, well, that's why I practice polygamy. Fine, no problem. Is the polygamy sole benefit sexual? I'm asking you guys, is that the sole benefit of polygamy? Don't you have to procreate with each woman? If you have to procreate with each woman and you need to love them equally, can you equally love four women at the same time? Four, five, six, seven women at the same time? That's how come I have a video that says that polygamy only benefit men sexually. I said it. Polygamy only benefit men sexually because most men do get married with multiple women so they can have access to sex. Because when you get married to one woman, they are jeopardizing their sexual access because one woman cannot feed a man's ego and a man's sexual desire. That is the reality, and they are not willing to compromise. So, therefore, guess what they're suggesting? Polygamy. Fine. If this is your religious practice or where you are from culturally is allowed, I am asking you a question because I said polygamy only benefit men sexually. You want to debunk that? I would like you to leave a comment for me because, or go watch that video of mine. I mean, if not, why would a man get married to multiple women? You are unable to love all of them equally. You want me to get into polygamy? I will tell you because I grew up in a country where 99.9% of the men practice polygamy. And I am familiar with this topic. We can talk about it all day. Polygamy only satisfy the male sexual desire. Because among all those wives of yours, there's one that you prefer. There's one that you love more than the others. It's not fair to the other woman. Now, let's talk about why marriage shouldn't benefit a man sexually. And men should avoid going into marriage because they want to fulfill their sexual desire. It's a selfish move. If you get married, sex is part of the equation. You have safe sex. Make sure you love your partner. Love your partner, okay, to a point where even if they don't bang you, you're happy just because they're around you. Yeah, that's part of being married. And those skills are not learned. I mean, they are not innate. They have to be learned. And you can only learn those skills when you get married. Because when you get married, you realize love is not enough to keep your marriage. I'm sorry. Did I say what? Yeah, love is not enough to keep your marriage. And love will never keep your marriage. Because love is a feeling that is temporary and is vanity driven, and love is going to fade. So love itself is not going to keep your marriage. Now someone will say, Rose, if marriage is this bad, did I say it was bad? Why would I get married then? They seem as if there's nothing in this for me. Yeah, how selfish you are. If you are selfish, I'm here to tell you there's nothing in this for you. You should rather stay single, okay? Because if you get married, you will divorce quickly. Men that goes into marriage thinking they will have they will have access to sex every day, they end up divorcing and living within their true, because their true nature is to be with multiple women, and the man can only do that when he's single because he can entertain multiple women simultaneously. But to be married is going to hold him responsible, because if you do, you're going to pay for the price. But I'm not trying to say there are some couple that have found out that, okay, since I cannot sexually please you, let's open up the relationship. There are options like that. People are into open relationship because they're trying to combat this lack of sexual, how you call it, access to their woman, or their woman not being into it, or their men not being sex. When I say lack of sex within the marriage, please, it can be both ways. The man may be the one who's not into it, and the woman is an animal. And she's into it more than her husband. It could be the husband, but mostly it's men. That's how come my focus is on the man, because the rate or the percentage of women being wanting that desire more than men is not as rare, but it's less than 1%. Okay, women are not sexually driven as men. I'm not being biased. That's just a reality. Okay, that's how come a woman doesn't have to bring anything to the table. She'll meet a man who's ready to do everything for her. Okay, because we know what drives them. Huh? I know. You didn't see me coming. Now, do you still want to get married? Oh my God. Someone will say, well, you are scaring me. Why would I get married? I'm asking you a question. Do you still want to get married or not? I'm going to give you a little time. Yes, you want to get married? You know the reality, right? Are you ready to accept that? You are not going to be banging every night. Your bunny eras might come to an end. Do you want to do that? If yes, then you can get married. If no, I would say explore the street, explore the multiple beautiful women out there. But marriage is not for you. Or if you're lucky enough to find a woman who doesn't mind opening your relationship, open marriages are, they are on the rise because people understand that sometimes it's hard to keep one partner, even if you want to be faithful. Sometimes being faithful doesn't cut it. It's all boils down to desire. Sometimes with human nature, we have tendency to desire, what we don't have, what you don't have, and what you're not used to. Anything new is desirable by both parties. It could be the man having a desire to meet a different woman because not that he's tired of eating the same sauce. It's just it gets repetitive. He has multiple desires. He would like to be with other women. The woman can also have those desires. That's how come partners that are lucky enough to understand each other can open their relationship. An open relationship do comes with their own struggle. I think I have a video covered that is covering those terms, saying that is open relationship safe? What is it? There's a lot that goes into it. It is another whole video that I'm going to make if I haven't made it already. That what are the benefits and the pros and cons of open relationship? Some people do open their relationship, but let me tell you, anything that doesn't come easy, like an open relationship, it has its pros and cons. Even though it's to combat sexless marriages or to combat bored sexual relationship within a marriage, it has its pros and cons. So move with caution because I have a video coming up that's going to cover this topic if I haven't covered it already. Okay. But I would say if you're solely getting married because you think you're going to bang all day, all night, buddy, think again. Okay. You can only get to do that if children are not into the equation and if your partner have the same drive as you sexually. Make sure you really choose the right partner because if you don't choose the right partner, then you are going to be doomed. You will be going to the divorce court very soon. And it's rare to find a man who goes to court and say, well, I'm divorcing my wife because he doesn't give me this every day. Do you understand? So, what's up, Martin? You say marriage is dead? Okay. Well, marriage may be dead, but it's only dead for the players. Hello? For the men who still want to play around. So marriage can be dead if you want to explore around, if you want to run the street, or if you want your freedom, then marriage is dead. Marriage is not dead because the intention of marriage wasn't to provide constant sexual services to men. Okay? Yeah, so marriage is not dead. Marriage is still there. Marriage is less practiced these days because this new generation knows that marriage is a business move. Hello, you want to get into that? Marriage is a business move. Marriage is not meant because you love each other. Marriage is a move, business move, and whereby assets are involved, and that's how come divorce proceeding in this country is not a joke. Do you understand? Well, I mean, it's don't put the whole blame on the woman, okay? Women are not the sole blame of why marriage goes south. So it's both parties, the responsibilities of both parties. Marriage are meant to work properly, but the life is challenging. Life itself, it is a huge undertaking. So therefore, marriage is not a joke. That's how come a lot of people cannot survive marriage because the challenges that comes with marriage it can affect both parties, the woman or the man. So therefore, marriage is not dead, okay? But the marriage is not intended to provide sexual or constant sexual services to a man, because you men have a huge sexual appetite, and once you get into this marriage, you realize, oh, what is going on? I used to have sex when I was single, but now I'm not having it at the same frequency. Yeah, you are not going to have sex at the same frequency as you used to when you were single, because when you were single, you had less responsibilities. And when you get married, marriage come with responsibilities, and it's not meant for the weak. It is even, I mean, for better for worse. Yeah, you need to be ready going into this contract, knowing that this woman may leave you or this man may leave you. Okay, marriage is not, it's not for the weak, and marriage is not meant to sexually satisfy men. Okay, that's not the sole intent for men. Marriage is meant to procreate and raise your children. Okay, but the sexual benefit of marriage is definitely limited to the men within the marriage, because men have more sexual desires than women. So therefore, single men have more sex than married men. That's how come married men are among the men that are sexually starved. Okay, out of every other man out there, the married man is starved sexually than any other man because of the reasons that I just listed. Marriage is not about sex. Marriage comes with responsibilities. The woman is busy raising your children. She's tired. I don't think she can satisfy your sexual needs all the time as she once did. She once satisfy your need, but then it's not because she doesn't want to satisfy you. It's because she has more how you call it? I don't want to say you're not a priority. You are a priority within this marriage, but I'm just saying that because she has the kids taking her time, and she's tired. She cannot once a week if you're lucky, or twice if you're super lucky, three times a week if the kids are grown and that they are not here in terms of responsibility and attention from the children. Yeah. So therefore, you need to really think twice if you go into a marriage, thinking you're going to turn into a bunny. Yeah, you're going to hump when the kids are not in the picture, or when they leave out of the picture. When they leave home, you might get back to your bunny era again. But when the kids are into the picture, I don't think you'll be humping like a fool like you used to. So marriage doesn't sexually benefit men, and it shouldn't sexually benefit men, and it will not sexually benefit men. That's how come men with high desire always leave, because they know that their sexual desire cannot be fulfilled. So therefore, they have nothing to gain within this marriage, because their intent was to get married and have access to sex, and to realize it quickly that this wasn't for them, and they leave the marriage because they didn't get what they wanted sexually. And I would say if they left a marriage because they couldn't get access to sex all the time, then that's they're living within their truth, okay? Because they misunderstood the mission of being married. Married is a contract, and it is a business move, and it's not there to sexually benefit you as the man. And even some women with a very high sexual libidos, which is rare to find a woman divorcing her man, because it happens in life. Under the sun, there's nothing impossible. Women do leave men because of sexual performance. It's called ED, erectile dysfunction. Yeah, some women do leave their men because of that. Remember, they say for better, for worse. Some women say, you know what? If this is how it's going to be, I'm going to leave you behind. I'm going to look. You're not performing. I'm leaving you. They shouldn't, right? Within the normal circumstances and the union of marriage, for better for worse, you should stay there even if he has ED. You should stay there and support him even everything going south. And for the man, you should also stay there if she doesn't feel like servicing you sexually. And the man on my channel once told me, that's why I don't want to get married. That's why I practice polygamy. That's why. So be it. Like I say, in this life, you need to live within your truth, okay? Do not compromise your happiness for the status quo. Do not compromise your happiness because of what society think you should, okay? If you want to live your life based off what society tells you, you're going to live a miserable life. When you go into this marriage and you know it's not for you, let's say sexually your desires are not being fulfilled, and that's what really defined you, and you're not willing to compromise, I would say leave. Because if you don't leave, you're going to start cheating. You might bring some diseases into the marriage. You're going to really hurt your partner. Okay, cheating doesn't always break a marriage, by the way. Some partner do not mind if you cheat. Some partner would open your relationship on one end, either on her side or his side. So therefore, people come to agreement, because with human nature, it's rare to eat the same food every day. It can even be rare for the woman to stick to the same food every day. It gets tiring and boring. Some people like excitement, they like different partner. Okay, so if a marriage is stagnant, sexually, some people can open their marriage and they explore other options. But like I said, there's the pros and cons of opening your marriage to total strangers. It's going to mess up the dynamic that was seemed stable from the get-go. Don't be surprised if the man leaves you for the woman that you guys had threesome with. Hello, you had threesome with someone, and guess what? He can't stop thinking of him, or she can't stop thinking of her. Sorry, she can't stop thinking of him, and he can't stop thinking of her. What are you going to do if the partner you invited into your marriage to have a threesome to spice it up? Spice? You want some hot pepper? Yes. And then they end up leaving you behind for that hot pepper. What are you going to do in life? If there's something that doesn't come easy, it's going to have some sacrifices, and there will be a hard sacrifices and price to pay. So again, marriage wasn't intended to sexually please men, and it will never be intended to sexually please men. If you go into it without knowing what is entail, you have a rude awakening. I hope you watch my video and you know for sure. Yeah, if you are among the 1% luckiest men who have found a woman who is satisfying them no matter what, like sex 24/7 if possible, then you were born lucky. But that is not the case for every married man out there. Married men remains among the most starved men on this planet. That's how come they visit red light district, they visit the working woman, the lady of the night. Most of their part, I mean, they are customers, like their strong base customers are married men. Again, I'm about to repeat, marriage doesn't sexually benefit men. Am I saying you shouldn't get married? No. I'm saying if you do, you need to know what is entail. Again, this was my opinion, and it shall forever remain my theories. Again, this is the theories of Rose.